and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If we haven't met before, hi, my name is Evie, your self-appointed online big sister that is helping you move from overwhelm and step into overflow. We are back. I have been unwell. There's been a flu in my household that has, been quite intense, but we are back. And today, I really wanted to talk about, the title of this video is pretty wild, hey? Why seasonal living will change your life. That's such a huge claim. I believe it so wholeheartedly. I think we should talk about it for like the next 10 minutes or so. Why do I believe it so deeply? I didn't come up with it, okay? This idea of seasonality, of living with the seasons, has been around for generations. It's been around for millennia, right? What I'm talking about is being inspired by nature. And if you live somewhere with 4 seasons, then you'll know, especially in February, that being inspired by nature can feel a little bit tricky. It can feel a little bit difficult. Why? Because it's grey and dark and horrible if you live here in the north of England like I do. So I really wanted to talk about that today. I think there is so much that we can learn from the seasons. I think there is so much we can learn from other people, communities, civilizations that have lived this way. And I think realigning our lives, weeks, months, days with a sense of seasonality could be the key to shifting everything. Bold claims. Let's talk about it. So I wanted to start by asking you a question, okay? Have you ever noticed how the energy shifts with the seasons? So you know in summer things feel way more free and open and abundant and you've got way more energy. And the energy feels very different as we shift into autumn. It feels different again as we shift into winter. And then that shift from winter to spring, whoa, it's such a huge energy shift. I bet you know what I'm talking about, right? The energy of each of those seasons feels different. So my question to you is, what if you could work with it rather than against it? I'm gonna say that one more time. What if you could work with the energy of the season rather than against it? Because seasonality, seasonal living, helps us live, helps us move in harmony with nature. Don't you want to be living in harmony with nature? Yeah, you do. It reduces burnout. Why? Because we're not expending energy trying to fight what's going on around us, whether we like it or not. And it brings more ease and alignment into our lives. I am all about ease and alignment. My whole life is built on ease and alignment. It used to be built on hustle. Yeah, I can still get suckered into hustle culture at times. I bet you can as well. But what if we could shift? What if we could move back? What if we could move back into ease and alignment? I think we can do it. I think it's worth trying. So what is seasonal living? What am I talking about? Does it sound like just another thing to do on the to-do list? Maybe it's not. Relax, let me tell you about it, okay? Seasonal living is just the practice of aligning our routines, our habits, our mindset with the natural shifts of the season, yeah? There is no point trying to take up outdoor running in the middle of winter. People do it. I'm not judging them. I'm just saying that doesn't feel very easeful. It doesn't feel like we're in alignment with the seasons there. Yeah, we're not really listening to what winter might be trying to teach us. And I think winter, spring, summer, autumn, all seasons are always trying to teach us something. Yeah? And I mentioned it before, but there have been loads of communities, loads of civilizations. There is loads of tradition around living seasonally. Think about traditional Chinese medicine, think about Ayurveda, think about the moon phases, think about cyclical living if you have a womb, if you have a monthly cycle. Think about farming cycles. These groups of people have always honored seasonal rhythms. They know not to work against them. And those groups of people, all of those groups of people, have a lot of wisdom. Right? We have so much to learn from those communities. And that is what I'm trying to share with us today, right? Those guys know what they're doing. Maybe we should listen and learn from them. So why is seasonal living supportive then? Well, I touched on it before, but it prevents burnout. What? Prevents burnout? What are you talking about? Yeah, it prevents burnout. Let me tell you about it. If we can learn to honor those slower seasons, like autumn, like the end of autumn, winter, the beginning of spring, we can prevent the constant push of hustle culture. Guys, we've got to learn how to do that. We've got to learn how to do that. We've got to find a way to prevent hustle culture. We've got to find a way to bring ourselves out of that constant cycle of more and more and more, yeah? In winter, everything kind of dies back. If we look at what's going on around us right now as we're in the kind of the last few weeks of winter here in England, in the UK. And that's like totally normal. The trees are not freaking out. The plants are not, they're fine. They know they need to rest, and so they've rested. I'm wondering if you've rested this winter. I'm wondering what rest has looked like for you this winter. Is there perhaps some room for improvement? Yeah? Enhances our well-being. The shifts that we can find in food, in movement, and rest creates a safer, calmer, better nervous system. And in every season of life, we need to have a regulated nervous system. Yeah? That should be the gold star standard that we are chasing, and that should be what we're kind of always hoping and looking to create. A safe, happy nervous system, a safe, relaxed body. And by listening to the seasons rather than ignoring it and trying to charge ahead, we teach our body that she, he, they can trust us. It encourages intention and mindfulness. So each season invites us to reflect and then realign with the shifts and the changes. My goals are very different in summer versus in spring versus in winter, yeah? We're coming up on the precipice of shifting into spring. Your wardrobe is about to change, yeah? Why not your internal well-being systems as well? Maybe it is time to start running outside because it's not going to be freezing cold like it is today. You know, it's these tiny, subtle shifts that honor, that look around and notice what's going on and then take that information in, that allows us to have that regulated nervous system that enhances our well-being, yeah? We're not just like some alien wandering around in this really foreign place. We know what's going on and we can live alongside it, we can live with it. You would not wander around in winter without a winter coat on. In fact, some people do, and you know what you think when you look at them? You think, aren't you cold? You're not listening to your body. How is your body ever going to trust you if you're not wearing a coat? Seems strange, right? It encourages intention and mindfulness, yeah? It deepens connection to ourself and the nature around us, the nature that we come from. You are made up of atoms that are like billions of years old, that have been here before and will be here again. It's written into our DNA. So tuning into that seasonal energy is going to foster that self-trust. There is a remembering of our eternal inner wisdom. It's there. Tap in, babes. Tap in. So how can we start living seasonally? Then? And also we could make a drinking game out of how many times I've said living seasonally. We won't. So winter really offers us this time of rest, reflection, slow nourishment. Look at the food that we eat during these times. Stews, soups. There's a time for deeper journaling, perhaps. That deep inner work. Yeah, there's a few weeks left of winter. There's still time to do that. Go away and do it. Do it right now, yeah? After this video ends. Find a way to offer yourself some deep, wintry nourishment. Take inspiration from what the trees are doing right now. There are no leaves on the trees right now. I'm looking in the garden, yeah? You don't need to be producing anything right now. How can you offer yourself and your roots deep nourishment? Okay, spring, we're just beginning. In a couple of weeks' time, we'll start moving into spring. Spring is all about growth and new beginnings. It's about fresh food and kind of gentle movement. We're shaking off the cobwebs. We're doing that big deep clean. Can you align with that season in about 4 weeks' time? Summer invites us into expansion and abundance. It's about high energy activities and socialization. It screams creativity. We usually have way more energy in the summer. Days feel longer, right? Because of that shift in the sunshine. We have more vitamin D, so we feel more alive and vibrant. How can we shift again from spring into summer? And then finally, autumn. Autumn is the season about letting go and decluttering. Those warming, grounding foods and that inner reflection. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, if you're in Australia or New Zealand, you're just moving into this time now. What do you need to let go of? What is ready to be released? How can you offer that to yourself this season? And for me, I really love to tie seasonality to my menstrual cycle. I live and breathe my menstrual cycle. I know exactly what cycle day I'm on, cycle day 22, if anybody's interested. And I align my life with the season that I'm living in, both outwardly and inwardly, you know? And that can shift everything. I know that my monthly cycle is going to be way more slower during autumn and winter. And I know as we shift into spring, I'll be able to do a bit more because of that natural buoyancy in the air, you know, that spring energy. And I'm able to kind of reflect and offer that to my body in a way that I perhaps can't in those 10 weeks of really dark, wintry life. So which season are you currently in? Not just in nature, also in your life perhaps. And how can you honor that? What does it look like to honor that today? What do you need? I'd encourage you to start small. A really beautiful way, a way that I started about 4 years ago, was to just begin to learn about what foods were in season this season and begin to eat them, incorporate them into my daily, weekly life. That could be a really beautiful place to start. If you're into this, if you're into seasonality, if you're into intentional living, if you want to learn more, come and listen to my podcast. New episodes drop every Monday morning at 9 a.m. The podcast is called Guided. You can find it linked in the show notes, and you can also find it anywhere that you listen to podcasts. I hope you found this helpful. I hope this has inspired you to take exquisite care of yourself, whatever season you're in, and I will see you soon for another video here on YouTube. Take good care.